Courtney. I'm back with part 3 of my Jehovah Witness story. So where I left off at part 2 was I'm pregnant, 5 months pregnant, and pending judicial. So I told my parents that I was pregnant. They had no idea. They still stripped my dad of his position even after I left and moved out. So obviously I was disfellowshipped again. And this time when I left, I didn't have any intentions on being reinstated. None. I said, nope, I don't want it anymore. That was that. So I was worldly, I was out here living, and I would say the thing that saved me was because I always led a double life. So I had friends, that I would secretly, be in contact with and things like that, not necessarily who I should be talking to, but that's who I would talk to, so when I was disfellowshipped, those relationships was full blown on and popping, and that's what it was. So I was pregnant and I ended up having my son. He's my oldest, and I was just living my life, me and the guy I was with, we broke up. I was a single mom, I was dating, I was doing my thing, but at this point I didn't believe it wasn't the truth. I just didn't know what to think. I didn't know if I was gonna ever go back. I didn't know if I was ever gonna make it back. I hoped I didn't get destroyed. I walked around with that constant fear of being destroyed. The world was gonna end at any minute because that's what you're taught. You're taught that the world is gonna end at any time, and then if anyone that's not a Jehovah Witness is going to die as well. So these are people who are your friends and everything. If they're not one of Jehovah's Witnesses, or if they're not in Jehovah's favor at the time of Armageddon, they gonna die. So obviously that would be me. I'm not in your favor. I'm not in your organization. I'm disfellowshipped, and that's what I believed. But I didn't really let it bother me. I said, I'm still going to do my thing. I was just jaded by the whole process. I knew something wasn't right, but I just kind of always looked at my parents, like my parents wouldn't follow anything that wasn't true. Like, why would they do that? Like, that was pretty much what I did. Like, okay, my parents, they're smart. Like, why would they wouldn't be Jehovah's Witnesses if it wasn't real. So yeah, it's real, duh. But that's why I never questioned it. But I just always looked at it like my logic on it was, it's a perfect organization ran by imperfect humans. That was my reasoning on it. So hey, they're gonna be fuck ups and all that type of stuff. But I didn't really understand the magnitude of the organization yet. So at this point, I was disfellowshipped. I was about 20. I got disfellowshipped at 20. And I was disfellowshipped about 3 years. 3, almost 4 years. Yes. And so I ended up being disfellowshipped, and I was out for about 3 years. And I'm sorry, some beeping noise in the back that's annoying me. I'm hoping my son gets it. Okay, so I was disfellowshipped at the age of 20. And at that time, I didn't have any intention on coming back. I just didn't. So at the age of 23, the guy from my first video, the guy who I ended up having sex with when I was 14, so yeah, he and I reunited. He came back into my life, and we started dating. So after about 3 months of dating, we got married. Right, yeah, so let's rewind that. Yes, so we started dating when we were 14. We dated for a year. And then we broke up, reconnected again at the age of 23, and got married after 3 months with the backing and support of both of our parents. Everyone was excited because he wasn't baptized. I was disfellowshipped. Hey, you guys need to get married. We know it don't matter. Jehovah gonna make it work. Y'all need to get married, and she can get reinstated. My parents can talk to me again. And then he, it looks good for you. You're married now. You have a wife, all of that. And so that's what we did. And so, obviously, our marriage did not work, because I didn't really love him. I mean, I married my friend. And I think that's where it got all misconstrued, all fucked up. That's what happened, because I married my friend, and that's not what we should have done. I mean, people don't even tell each other they love each other at month 3. That's kind of like a hurdle there. Some people are like, woo, and we get married, hitched after dating for 3 months. I mean, where they do that at? Oh, in the Jehovah Witness community. That's where they do it at. Because they encourage that shit. They do. For fear of, ooh, you don't want to mess up now. Ooh. That's the thing. Nobody wants to mess up. Nobody wants to get disfellowshipped. Nobody wants to get reproved. Nobody wants to get in that back room. That's what it is. It's the fear of the judicial process, which makes you do stupid shit. It does, because it messes with your head. You're brainwashed. So you can be sitting here like, what? They don't even know. Brainwashed from infancy. Brainwashed. That's what it is. So, throughout our entire marriage, we struggled, with our relationship. I loved him. I think he loved me too, but I don't necessarily know if we were in love with one another. So we ended up having a child together. When I first started recording my videos, I was home alone. And I'm not anymore. So I apologize. Yeah. But for my marriage, I married my friend. That's what it was. We were friends. We ended up getting married. So we had a kid together. That didn't change anything. We struggled to be Jehovah's Witnesses. It was always that struggle, the struggle to go against the natural inclinations, just do what the Bible says, and it made my husband a tight ass. I mean, I couldn't do what I wanted to do, couldn't listen to rap music. We didn't use profanity, none of that. It was always like trying to, be somebody in the organization, especially my husband, because they dangle that prominence in front of brothers, especially black brothers. But like I said, I'll get into that maybe in another video, but that was the thing, and I'm not a tight ass. I'm not a lame ass individual. So I didn't want to listen to fucking oldies. I don't want to listen to, I want to turn up. What's wrong with that? I'm young. Why can't I turn up? Married in a 20s, girl. What a fun in that. Like, come on. But trying to do the right thing. Trying to do what Jehovah won't. That's what I was trying to do. So, lo and behold, I get cheated on by my husband. He cheated on me. He confessed, told me, and at that point, I had grounds for divorce. And at that time, I had to decide if I was going to stay or leave. Because once you're, Jehovah's Witness, you have to decide at that point, if your spouse gives you grounds for divorce, and that could be, infidelity, or from what I understand, putting you in a bad financial situation as if, you're not working and he refuses to work and he's the head of the household, I believe, that might be a grounds for divorce or separation. maybe physical abuse, maybe a grounds for separation, not necessarily divorce, but infidelity is actually one of the grounds for divorce. So I had my chance. I decided to forgive my husband for other, for certain various reasons. But I never really forgave him. I always kind of felt like I was a free-spirited individual. So imagine being a free-spirited individual in a cult that really don't jail, but at the time I didn't really realize it was a cult. So we continued to try to work through our marriage, and I began talking to a guy, and this guy actually was affiliated with Jehovah's Witnesses. He was a disfellowshipped, an active brother. So he and I ended up talking. Bruh, I can't. You can't come in here while I'm recording. Why don't everybody just come get in? Come on, Jordan.
All right. I'm her son. My name is Jordan, and I live in Lansing. And
boy, don't be telling nobody where I live. Right. Michigan, Lansing, Michigan.
Make sure you smash that subscribe button. Make sure you smash that like button, and make sure that you put on post notifications. You got certain choices. Like you get to choose
Jordan, come close the door. Yes. So he and I, decided to press on with our marriage. I decided to forgive him, and I never really forgave him though. So I moved on. I met someone who actually was affiliated with Jehovah's Witnesses. A really nice guy. So I ended up sleeping with him. I fell in love with another guy while I was married. And this guy just so happened to be a Jehovah's Witness too. And it just so happened that his family visited the neighboring hall across from my hall. We had double halls in the parking lot. Now, even though he didn't go to the hall like that, it was just... I think the reason why we both thought it could work was because we ultimately we had the same goal. Oh, we're Jehovah's Witnesses and everything, and I think that's why we thought it could work, but no. Just a lot of drama. So I came out and I told my husband what was going on. We called to have a committee case, and in the committee case, now let me go back and say something important. For my husband's committee case, I wasn't allowed to sit in. So I don't know what he told those elders. My committee case, he sat in on my committee case. And I said, well, I don't want him there. And they said, well, he has to be there. Why? I don't want him here. I want to be able to talk and say what I want to say. I don't want to talk about what happened with me and Buddy in front of him. Okay, whatever. So because he's there, I'm lying. I'm not being truthful. I'm not telling them that I really don't want this. I'm not telling them that I really have feelings for the guy. I just was making it seem like it was a fling and all of that. So they publicly reproved me. And again, from my previous video, you know how embarrassing that is. So they read my name off. Oh, and every time you get disfellowshipped, they read your name off as well. How can I forget that? So now this is my, I believe, this is maybe like my fifth judicial case that I've had as a Jehovah's Witness. I ain't getting into Bethel, no kind of RBC, nothing. It's over for me at this point. So I ended up getting reproved, and so me and the guy continued to mess around, and I came back and told my husband, like, hey, look, this is not working. I'm not going to keep, this is not, So I was disfellowshipped the second time around. And so this is now my third time being disfellowshipped. So this happened in 2017. Yeah. And so I just, at that point, I just was like, hey, I'm not coming back. I'm not coming back. And it wasn't that, oh, no. I'll rewind a little bit. I came to that conclusion a little bit later on when me and the guy were dating. We were actually dating seriously. I think we were, considering getting married again. And I just realized that that's not what I wanted. It's like, this is not me. I'm living for this organization. Why am I getting married again? I was just in a 6-year marriage that did not work out. So I need some time to breathe, sis. You need some time to breathe, baby. Courtney, pull yourself together, girl. Like, what's going on? Like, I am, like, no, this is not right. And then it was just, dealing with him and his situation. He had family that was, in the truth and everything. And our relationship was very public. All the gossip started. I mean, it was very public. Even after I got disfellowshipped. I'm from Chicago. So there are sides of Chicago. You got the south side, you got the west side, you got the north side. And our news, and I'm from out south. I'm not from the south side of Chicago. I'm from the south suburbs. And our story had made it to the western part of Chicago. Our story was out west, on the west side of Chicago. People talking about us. It was a big deal. Very public. Very embarrassing, But I was able to get through. I pushed through. And I was just like, fuck them. I mean, oh well. And so it was people that I had associated with when I was, in the religion, who proclaimed to be my friend, and they just talk shit about me. They talk shit about me, I think, throughout, whatever was going on for whatever various reasons. But this was really their open season on me. I really found out who was in my corner, who wasn't. And I got a couple people who, even though they don't even talk to me to this day for religious reasons, I fuck with them. Only a few. And they full-blown Jehovah Witnesses now. I ain't talked to them since I've been in disfellowship. But the way that they did me, the way that they handled my situation, they handled it, they gave me my dignity. They had my back up until, at this point, they felt like they couldn't cross that line. I had somebody sitting with me on the day I was getting disfellowshipped. Like, this is my last time talking to you. I love you, all that. You know what I'm saying? And I appreciate that. I really do. Y'all know who y'all are. And I'm talking about 2 different people. Y'all know who y'all are. And I love y'all. Like, regardless. You know what I'm saying? Y'all know y'all not gonna get me emotional on this thing. But, yeah. I realized who was not my friends. And you know who you are. I ain't got to go into detail. You know who you are too. People who was kicking it with me, but then you're turning around, you're talking about me, you're sharing my business all over the place. Like, that's the hypocrisy. And they teach this in the organization, agape love, and you're supposed to die for your brother. Huh? I'm not dying. What? I'm not dying for you. The person that's, as soon as I do something wrong, that's the thing, they always got you looking to do something. Who doing something wrong? Let me tell you what I heard. I heard sister so-and-so, and I heard brother ... I mean, it's always something that's going on. It's always drama. Always. And they love it. They want to know, because it puts you on this pedestal. You feel, I know I have a true connection with God, and I'm going to make it to the new system. So you're living this cult life. You don't even realize you're in a cult. And you got the nerve to talk shit about people who not living cult life. What? Yeah, I didn't know if I was going to make another video, but I'm going to have to. Because this is just my story, but I got a lot of things to say. Because, like I mentioned before, I'm not an activist. I'm not an XJW activist, but I strongly urge people, if you can get out, you need to get out. So, let me double back a little bit. After me and the guy decided not to be together anymore, I was just like, I didn't know what to do. I didn't know where to go. You know, I knew I wasn't going back. And one thing I couldn't understand is like, why is it that every time I'm disfellowshipped, good things happen to me? Every time I've been disfellowshipped, I've always bounced back. Always, like in a financial aspect and anything outside of the congregation, I always had success. So with this particular situation, I got a new job, a better paying job, and I said, well, what's going on here? What is this? How is it that I'm out of Jehovah's favor, but yet I'm still receiving these wonderful blessings? Something's not adding up, right? Something's not adding up. What's up? So I stumbled upon John Cedars, my boy, and XJW Critical Thinker. Yes, my boy, my girl. And both of those channels woke me the hell up. Huh? The amount of information, all the things that I questioned and wondered, what is this? This can't be. They were able to touch on it and show me that it wasn't real. It's incorrect. This is a cult. The followers, the founders. I mean, what? Huh? So what happened, my first awakening, and I was able to see everything, I just was like, I went through a true grieving process. I literally was grieving. I mean, as if someone had died. I felt so stupid, so betrayed, you know? I was so angry. But the fortunate thing is, like I said, I always lived a double life. So I never was like fully like committed, but I tried. I really did, you know, and I know that's the basis I live my life around. And then also the second part, my parents. Finding out that something is not true, and then looking back on my life, on my parents' life, and the effect that the religion had on my parents and on our family. Yeah. That tore me apart. And it still tears me apart. It angers me. It saddens me. Because I just feel like my parents wasted their lives. Your life. And I feel so bad. And I'm so angry. All the time that my dad spent with the friends at the congregation, and all the scrutiny my dad's been through, and my mom right there by his side, you know, the whole time. The things that they didn't get a chance to pursue. The decisions that they made based upon this religion. It's very, very, very disheartening. It's very sad, you know? And then I also look at other people, my friends, you know, decisions that they're making based upon this religion, you know? There's already more women in the world than men, so especially in the organization. And then they have this super high standard, like everybody wants a virgin. What world are we living in? And I lost my virginity at 14. So what? My chances of getting a man was little to none. And I think that's ultimately why I hopped on the opportunity to get back with my ex, you know, because it was like, oh my God, I can actually have a family and the Jehovah Witness, you know. It's sickening. Like when I just think about everything, it's like all the memories and stuff, it starts rushing back to my head, and it's just, ew. It's a lie. It's a lie. It's a lie. I don't know how else to say it. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. It's nothing to be sugarcoated. It's bullshit. All of it. It's an organization. The way it's set up and designed, do your research. And I know they tell you don't do your research. If you do your research, you're going to be an apostate. No, you're not. If you do your research, you're going to be smart. Because every day is not promised to us. We don't know. We don't know the next time. You know, we don't know if you're going to wake up tomorrow. This is your life now. This is your life now. Now. Not in paradise. That shit is not real. It's not. You have to do your research. And I know it's hard, like, what? Like, to go, you know, to be a part of something your entire life and wake up and realize it's not real? Who wants to do that? Nobody wants to be sucked out of their comfort zone. Everybody wants to believe. Yeah, I want to believe that I ain't going to worry about it because I'm going to be perfect one day. Or I'm not going to worry about whatever. Because in the new world, I'll have this. I'm not going to be a why pursue higher education. I'm going to pioneer because the end is coming. What am I going to do after high school? Go to Bethel. What? What were you thinking? I love my God. Huh? And this moment right here, why I want to share my story. Get out. Seriously. It's not real. It's a cult. You can keep ignoring stuff. It ain't a cult. It ain't a. Yes, it is. It is, babe. It's a cult. But it's okay. I know it's embarrassing. Like, nobody wants to, what? I'm not part of a cult. I didn't drink no damn Kool-Aid. What are you talking about? It's a cult. Have you ever asked yourself, why is all this shit so corny? Why is this all, you know? And you got to be, after every demonstration, that was wonderful. I was making $70,000 a year, but I couldn't make my meetings. So what I did was I quit my job, and I'm a full-time servant now. And I didn't know how I was going to pay my bills, but guess what? One day, Jehovah provide. I'm a full-time servant of Jehovah, and I've been a servant now for 20 years. Jehovah will provide. Do that sound right? That don't even sound right. That don't sound right. Huh? Wake up. Like, for real. Because it's not real, man. I'm gonna have to make another one. Because I don't think people understand. You know, this is my story. You know. But I think I'm gonna have to come back with some facts. I'm gonna have to drop some knowledge. Because it's like, well, what are you talking about? Who? Huh? Like, I'm gonna have to drop some knowledge. At least some facts, you know. Just say, you know, what? Are you thinking? Are you really thinking? I don't think so. So as of this point, after I discovered the things that I discovered about the organization, you know, the child sex abuse scandals, the secret handbooks and things that's going on in Bethel and all type of hypocrisy in and out the congregations and just stuff like that, you know, I'm just like, it started making me question religion in general. Because my thing is, if this is supposed to be the truth, and one thing about Jehovah Witnesses that I can say about them, they teach from the Bible, baby. Every little thing in there is from the Bible. The Bible. So now I'm questioning the Bible. Is this real? How can the Bible be, you know what? Then you start diving into, it's bigger than Jehovah's Witnesses. Now I'm looking at the religion as a whole. Religion in general. What about that? How accurate is that? How accurate is the Bible in general? But then you look at certain things and you say, well, what is our purpose? And that's another reason I just felt empty. If this is not the truth, then what is? Do your research. I do not believe in God, but I do believe in a higher power. So I am agnostic. And I'm living my life. I'm continuing to wake up to certain things, but as far as being a Jehovah Witness, it's something I will never return to again. I don't hate the witnesses or anything like that, because I used to be one, so I understand. It's just, wake up. My fear is that people are going to not live this life, this wonderful life that they have, because of a religion, because of a cult. And I would just hate for that to happen to anyone else. So, I mean, being a Jehovah's Witness, it's obviously a cult, but there are some positive things that I did learn. One thing that I learned, I've learned how to be kind. I do feel like that is something that they teach. To be kind, they teach agape love. Like, that is something that is, very, very big. So I love that about myself. I think I'm a naturally kind person anyway, but they really teach you how to, show brotherly love. So I think that that's really a good thing. Yeah. Y'all know what I'm talking about. Serving our brothers, dear. Yeah. Yeah. And then the Theocratic Ministry School, it definitely taught me how to speak. Educated anyway, but it definitely taught me how to be a public speaker, and I'm definitely grateful for that. And I can also say, lastly, it definitely taught me how to knock on a door and how to properly ring a doorbell. There's a method to it. You can't just come up and, this is the wrong way to knock on the door. You don't knock on the door like this. No. That's not how. It's a very thought out process. You get the best results when you use the tip of your knuckles. That's the best way. You want to do something really nice with nothing alarming, nothing. See, I learned that. Master knocker. I can knock the hell out some doors. Please believe, in a non-threatening manner. So, thank you guys for joining me for my story. I hope that you did. Please subscribe to my channel, like my channel, comment. Feel free to say whatever you want. Please be nice. But if you're not gonna be nice, I don't care anyway. It is what it is. I'm a big girl. I can handle it. But I hope you enjoyed yourself. Also, you can follow me on Instagram at pretty_mommy. That's PRETTI_MAMA. No, MAMI. Can't even spell my name. Also, too, my channel is not gonna be just about being an XJW. It's not. It's more than that. I've always, so many things that I want to do. I've always wanted to talk, and I love people just in general. And so, my channel is going to be full of different things, relationships, interviews. I'm a huge supporter of Black business. I love it. Different topics, mental health, anxiety, depression. These are things that I suffer with, weight, things like that, lifestyle. I think you guys will enjoy it, So, like I said, I appreciate you guys joining me, and I hope to see y'all again.